Pontus has been a sort of a founding member of the band. I mean, he was there from the start. So that was, that was unfortunate that he chose another path. But at the same time, that's part of life in general and the music business in particular. So we came in contact with Johan. Actually, we know him from a while ago, and he's been a fan of the band as well, and he was really a nice fit for us.
It's really important to find somebody who accomplished that and really want to join in, and obviously loves music and what we do. That's one of the main things, because we are in the position, of course, to have people wanting the job, because we are working a lot, and people know about us. So it's not a problem with getting someone, but getting the right person is always issue. But it feels really good with Johan. He's a great player. He looks great on stage, and he's a really cool person. And we're really happy to have him in the band.
There are sacrifices in being away from family and friends, but we're gaining something else. We have another family too, with the fans and the people that enjoy listening to the band and come to the shows. And as a musician, that's life. You have to be a traveling man in a sense. If you're too dear to home, then the music life is not for you. We want to reach people, and we want to see new avenues, find new collaborations, and traveling is part of that. So yes, of course, there is a degree of sacrifice there, but we all find a good balance, I think.
I would say that we are more närvarande.
Present.
Yeah, present than many parents, for instance, for our kids, because when we're home, we're really home, And we've been doing this since we were teenagers, so it's more or less, We choose this path for a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not a surprise to anyone.
No,
around us.
Not to
ourselves, and not to our wives and girlfriends. And it's just children,
Yeah, everybody knows the drill. Oh, you're going to be away for a couple of weeks. Okay, we'll see. We have friends, working in the Clara Church back home, and they really accomplished something fantastic for people who ain't got nothing, like homeless and refugees and people who really are on
the bottom.
At the bottom row. We thought we'd do an acoustic show for them, just a regular, because they serve like lunch every day there. So we do a lunch concert, like acoustic stuff. We came up with the idea, why don't we just get that on tape, a documentary of it,
Yeah.
It all spun out from that idea. We had some really good camera team on that as well. The Greatest was also a thing that was in the same line of doing things out of the box, because like Herbie, who wrote that song for us, he regularly write for, pop stars in the US or, English really big bands, So that's also something that we, genre-wise, want to reach, try to get into our music.
Whenever someone says that, I think about this movie Almost Famous, where that rock journalist played by Philip Seymour Hoffman Burns from that magazine. Rolling Stones, the other one, Cream magazine. When he says to the young kid who wants to be a writer, he said, "Rock and roll is dead. You're here for the death rattles," and that was in 1973. So he called the Doors buffoons. Black Sabbath was okay, maybe MC5, Iggy Pop, but the rest of it are all pretenders and posers. And we all know that things happened after 1973 that actually matters. So, declaring rock dead, Lenny Kravitz did that at a time as well. He had a song titled that. So, The thing is that music doesn't die. Whatever conception Gene Simmons may have of rock and roll, you know, that's for him to say that it's dead. I mean, rock is something else than just a specific sound or a guitar. That's something that, you know, touches you, a kind of energy to the music, a kind of drive, a kind of beat. You know, all those components come in, and I mean, we can find rock in so many different kinds of music. I mean, there are rock elements in opera, for Christ's sake. There are rock elements in church music, that you know, belong to what people may call rock. I mean, that kind of energy. So I think that's, I mean, Bach, he played some mean organ things that really find their way into rock music, and I mean, Yngwie took that to heart, and he did something special with that. So it's, I mean, it's all really a big blend and mix. If you think something is dead, then go on and do something else. But for us, it's alive, I think.
I would quote David Lee Roth that this is one of the finest form of arts I can imagine. You know, it's just. And you're not here to see the end of the rainbow, you're just here to ride it. And when you get tired of it, you leave the car and you come back 1 week later and you see maybe someone's living in the car.
Was that what he said?
Yeah. Rock and roll will never die.